Nice hand. From the cutoff, I raise up ace-9, get one caller from the big blind. The hand comes out, I'm in position, I ball myself the button. It's always nice to have the button. He checks to me, I bet 40 cents, he calls. What does he have? Doesn't seem like... He came from the big blind. I have 9, 10, 12. Now, I just gained so much equity. 4 to a straight, overcard. So I'm gonna bet. Ooh, he bet 70, I just call? Could have raised him here. Although if he had a queen, he probably calls it. So if I raise him, it'd be 210 into 137 or something like that. 277. So it'd be $2 before I put in my 210. He checks. That looks weak. Because if he had queen, so I'm just gonna do a value bet. No, I mean, I don't do a value bet. I got to check my ace down. There was no reason for me to bet this queen. He wouldn't have given me credit for 3 queens, I don't think. So I show down ace high. So that was a pretty nice hand because I bought the button. I was the pre-flop raiser. He came from the small blind. Pretty scary board for him. He bets, I call. Once I call, he slows down. If he fires again, I would have folded. But he was afraid of the queen as well. So he doesn't fire on the river. And I didn't think, would he fold a 4? I don't think I wrapped queen. Let's look at that again. So from here, what is my perceived range? This obviously hits my range a lot better than his range. So when I bet out, I'm saying I'm at the higher end of the range. And when he bets and I call, I'm even more defining my range. Of at least 10 or queen or better. So my perceived range could include the queen. Especially when he slows down on the river. But what's his perceived range? Let's take a look at that. So from his perspective, on the pre-flop raiser from the cutoff, he calls from the big blind. Calls from the big blind. He checks. So he's saying he doesn't have a queen. I bet over 3/4 pot. He calls. So he's either repping a flush draw, a pair, some sort of pair, some sort of flush draw, maybe jack, jack 10. If he had, well, when he bets 70 cents, I call, he could still have either 10 or queen, but his perceived range on the river, when he checks, he's saying he does not have a queen. He's basically given up. But could he have a 10 here? Yeah, seems like he could have a 10 based on the actions. He didn't have queen. Could I rep the queen? Like, he could be saying that he had a 10. Okay, so he does have a flush draw. So that explains his actions. That was his perceived range. So that makes sense. So his perceived range coming from the big blind, his range is wider than mine. I'm on the higher end of the range. So this hits my range. Makes perfect sense that he would call, trying to draw for a flush. He may have been better off betting here. Then he is really saying and disguising his flush draw. He's really saying that this hits him. He's playing too passive. So when this jack comes out, now he bets the turn. Does that make any sense? Remember, this is zone poker. There's no need for trickery. So, queen, 10. He bets. Is he repping a jack? But when I call, yeah, I guess he could be repping a jack. But if I call, I'm repping either a queen or ace X of heart, ace 2, ace 4, ace 5, of hearts, ace X of hearts, king of hearts, king X. So when this queen comes out and he immediately checks, he's saying that he doesn't have a queen. So I'm still afraid of the ace or jack, the jack o' 10. He conceivably could have been afraid to bet out if I had the queen, but not willing to give up on middle pair. So when he checks, now I can rep the queen. Let's see if queen would have been believable. Yeah, queen is in my range. He's definitely afraid of the perceived range of my queen. I'm repping something here. I call. Yeah, I could have repped the queen. Looks like. See if any of these actions make sense with the queen. So yeah, that's his ace queen right there. I mean, it's consistent. And then my betting out here in position is consistent with queen. Yeah, here he could either have a 10 or a queen. That's not a problem with him calling.
It's 11:30.
When he bets out here, he's repping strength. So he could be repping a queen here still. His range is any of these. Flush draw, 10, jack, queen. The problem was when he hit river and he checked, he could not be repping a queen. But my actions, what's my perceived range? I could be flush. When I called the 70 cents, could have a flush draw, could have king jack suited, king 9. Could I have ace king? I could. When this queen comes out and he checks, he's giving up on the hand. Problem is, I could rep the queens, but I could just as well have a 10, a jack, or even ace X of hearts. So, interesting hand.